decade ago, he had retraced some of the Chisholm Trail route of his youth to see how much had been lost to barbed wire and the farmer's hoe. More recently, Siringo had pursued fugitives with Patsy along the border as a New Mexico Ranger, where he saw a young inspector, Bill Owens, shot through the lungs by a rustler near a Bow Pass, returning fire as he died. Before leaving the sunny slope, he led Patsy out into the scruff woods they both loved, placed his revolver gently behind the horse's ear, and said goodbye. With the last of his sad tasks done, he headed for the depot at Santa Fe and the train that would take him from his ranch. Standing bow-legged in his boy-sized boots, he looked leathery and frail, a small, desert-seasoned old man wearing a low-crowned Stetson and a white mustache, kerchief circling his tanned-lined throat. His brown eyes, often mirthful, were hardly merry as he boarded the train that December day, an undersized old gent moving to his seat, resting beneath his canted hat. After spending Christmas with an old friend in Douglas, Arizona, he traveled on to California to collapse in the house of his daughter, Viola. He arrived thinking he would die. In San Diego, he was nursed by Viola and her own teenage girl. Over several months in the house, his strength and agitation slowly returned, enough that he felt again like a cowboy adrift, once more in need of his own place. An old friend had once written Siringo from California about the film jobs to be had for men as skilled as he was at riding, roping, and shooting. By the spring of 1923, Siringo had left his daughters for Los Angeles, where they were making stories about the West he had known. Book 1, Texas Cowboy. 1. A Plain Damn Fool. He was an heroic, romantic figure in his day, but his day is gone. The old-time cowboy of 40 years ago is almost an exclusive motion picture figure now. The Passing of the Cowboy. Los Angeles Times, 1922. A number of Western films had come through Santa Fe's Paris Theater while Siringo lived there. Hell's Hinges, in which an entire town burned spectacularly down, sparked by a saloon gunfight involving a vengeful William S. Hart. Breezier stuff, like the Tom Mix feature, Six-Cylinder Love, or another tough Hart picture, Wolves of the Rail, in which Mexican bandits attacked a moving train guarded by their conflicted former comrade. Such entertainments might be more romantic than life, but the riding and landscapes were a wonder even to a Westerner living among the desert mountains. Real cowboying was no longer possible, so he'd headed toward the make-believe kind. Other grizzled frontiersmen, from Emmett Dalton to Bill Tillman and Wyatt Earp, had gone ahead of him to peddle their experiences to the movies. He came alone, but was part of a migration of cowboys seeking movie work, some just for the winter, but many cut loose from ranches collapsing around the West. In their chaps and hats and spurs, one columnist noted, there were more real cowboys in Los Angeles right now than in any other one spot in the world. To them, all work was honorable that wasn't on foot, and motion pictures offered a remaining hope of staying in the saddle. Even as it quieted, the frontier was reenacted and revised, first in Wild West shows and rodeos, and now in moving pictures, with the able help of its last working witnesses. People reinvented themselves all over the West, in Siringo's case dozens of times. But unlike others hoping to sell their more fabled stories, since his 30s he had often kept stealthy and anonymous, adventuring under a series of personas not his own as a cowboy detective. See Leon Allison, Leon Carrier, Charles T. Leroy. He might have been more of the West than most, and met every bad man